The Memorial, presented by Nationwide, Jack Nicklaus's tournament, Muirfield Village, Dublin, Ohio. It's been there since 1976. Prize money, $8.5 million. The course and tournament record, 20 under, Tom Lehman, many, many years ago. The world's best are at this one, and after round one, David Lingermuth and Jason Duffner are at 7 under, one shot off the pace. Jordan Spieth, coming off of that great performance last week for a second-place finish at the Dean and DeLuca Invitational, along with Lucas Glover. Golf Channel all weekend long for the coverage. Bob Ford right now joins me on the Comcast Sports Line. He, of course, many years, Director of Golf Club Pro at Oakmont, now at Seminole, about ready to be bestowed upon the Bobby Jones Irwin Hills U.S. Open in just a couple of weeks in Wisconsin at that amazing dinner. Jack Nicklaus won this honor back in 1975. Bobby Jones, he died in 1971, but his memory still burns bright today. An American amateur golfer and a lawyer by profession who was one of the most influential figures in history of the sport. Jones founded and helped design Augusta National Golf Club and co-founded the Masters Tournament. The innovations that he introduced at the Masters have been copied by virtually every professional golf tournament in the world. Jones was the most successful amateur golfer ever to compete at a national and international level. During the peak from 23 to 1930, he dominated top-level amateur competition and competed very successfully against the world's best golfers. And for those of us who are historians of the game and love it, names like Walter Hagen and Gene Saracen, the era's top pros, Jones earned a living mainly as a lawyer and competed in golf only as an amateur, primarily on a part-time basis, and chose to retire from competitive golf at the age of 28. He earned significant money after golf as an instructor and equipment designer. Explaining his decision to retire, Jones said, quote, "It's championship golf. It's something like a cage. First you are expected to get into it, and then you are expected to stay there. But of course, nobody can stay there." After retiring from competitive golf in 1930, Jones founded and helped design the Augusta National Golf Club. Soon after, in 1933, he also co-founded the Masters Tournament, which has been annually staged by the club since 1934. Jones came out of retirement in 1934 to play in the Masters in an exhibition basis through 1948. He played his last round of golf at East Lake Golf Club, his home course in Atlanta. A picture commemorating the event now sits at the clubhouse at East Lake, citing health reasons that he quit golf permanently thereafter. And of course, the Grand Slam, consisting of victories in all 4 major golf tournaments of the era, the Open, the Amateur Championship in both the U.S. and the U.K. in a single calendar year in 1930. In all, Jones played in 31 majors, winning 13 and placing among the top 10 finishers 27 times. I think that about says it all, don't you, Mr. Ford?
Wow, Rob, you did pretty good, brother. Yeah, he was amazing. Nobody liked Bob Jones.
You know, I must tell you, from the placards and everything that is at Oakmont Country Club about Bobby Jones, whether I've been there for a visit with you, watching a U.S. Open many years ago, or, you know, speaking for some function, it's just a great place to visit. But it's the quiet time that I have, and I've talked about this many times, seeing one of those flags flapping in the wind. I think of Bobby Jones in the knickers and the sweater coming up over the hill. You were there many years, and you have been all over the world, and wherever Bobby Jones put the cleats down, you have to think about him when you're there, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure. He was amazing how many places he got to, and to win 13 out of 31 majors is pretty extraordinary.
Listen, Mike Dudurich, who I think is simply the best. We both have such love for him. The golf show, folks, don't miss it. Even if you have to tune away from my show, he is truly the best from 7 until 8 o'clock on 93.7 The Fan. How excited are you? And I know he's going to try to get there, and I'll be picking his brain and asking everything as far as what it was like when he gets back. But what's going? You must be numb to think that you're going to get this. That you're going to get this award. This is the first time a club pro's ever done this.
Yeah, it is staggering, Rob, and I am numb. When I got the call that in December, actually, from Diana Murphy, the president of the USGA, and she said, you know, one of the great tributes that she gets to do as president is to, you know, call the honorees of, you know, their various awards. And I was just listening to her like, you're kidding, right? I mean, you can't be serious. Because, you know, for a golf professional to win that award is just very, very unusual, obviously, the first time. And you know, I'm incredibly honored to be the golf professional and to represent all my brothers and sisters in the PGA of America who, you know, work so hard day in and day out to make everybody's golf game better and make the game better, Rob.
Listen, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Sam Snead, all these guys come to mind. But Nobody says the king better than you. And I'm showing a little bit of that half and half Arnold Palmer iced tea at Sheets, Coons Markets. I love it. Why is Arnold Palmer? I know in my heart, as a person that doesn't play golf but has as much passion as anyone that does, I know what he means to me. Why has he always meant so much to you and will always mean everything to you, Bob Ford?
Well, he is the king, and, his relationship with Lou Horsham, who was my mentor, goes way back to Lou's brother, Buddy, who was his roommate in college, who was tragically killed. So there was some great ties to Lou and to Arnold back, when I first came to Oakmont. And, I got to play with Arnold in '78 in the PGA, practice round there, and many of the majors that I was fortunate enough to get to play in. Arnold would always play with me. So, he was just a local guy and, an incredibly charismatic, man in our game, obviously, and just the way he carried himself. I think the thing that I admired most about him, Rob, was that, how authentic and genuine he was. And at the end of the day, he played golf every day of his life. He played because he loved the game. He didn't play just to make money so he could go fishing. I mean, he loved to play. He loved to play with his buddies up there at Latrobe at his club. Just his lifestyle that he led was just extraordinary.
Doc Geffen was on, his longtime advisor with Mike last week, and I replayed the broadcast on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. What a special relationship between he and Doc. But that's the way Arnie was with anyone from Western Pennsylvania. Those who were his friends growing up in Latrobe remained his friends. And Jack Nicklaus and him had a great battle on the golf course, but they loved each other. And I think of Jack heading into this weekend, 73 all-time wins, Tiger 79, Sam Snead, the great slammin' Sammy Snead, so dapper, but man, what a sweet swing, 83 wins. But you look at the 18 majors, 19 second-place finishes, 9 third-place finishes. Jack Nicklaus is the ambassador that this game will need, and I hope that as long as he walks the earth and long after, people will remember the significance of him, and especially with his tournament this weekend at the Memorial.
Well, they were very different people, but Jack is our greatest champion that ever played the game, and he understudied under Bob Jones. Bob was one of his heroes. Jack conducted himself like Bob Jones did. He was the consummate gentleman, gracious in defeat and in victory. And I don't know if we'll ever see another champion like Jack Nicklaus. But you're right, Rob. He will champion the game now till the end of his lifetime. And we couldn't have a better guy doing it than Jack Nicklaus.
Let me tip my hat to you and thank you for being one of my best connections and teachers of the game of golf, whether you know it or not. I love you dearly, and I have such respect for you, you can't even imagine. And I will be with you in spirit, as we all will, and we are all so proud, but no one is more honored of receiving the Bob Jones Award. Keep hitting them straight, and we'll talk again down the road, okay?
You're the best, Rob. Thanks, pal.
The great Bob Ford. Good night from the Pratt Pack Gym.